extending a warm round of applause as we welcome Suborno.
Am I free to give the keynote address? I was going to go off a certain script, but one, you know how I operate, no scripts over here. My dad is very afraid of this one, so that's why I decided to give a speech on this, asteroid impacts.
Chief guest, the Highness, Sayyida, Basma, our guest of honor, His Excellency Shri Amit Narang, Ambassador of India to the Sultanate of Oman, and the keynote speaker, Suborno Isaac Barry.
Warahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good evening, namaste. I'm so overwhelmed, actually. It's always lovely to come to your events.
Sayyida, Basma, Vice-chancellor Dr. Ali Saud Al Bimani, Professor Suborno Isaac Barry, Chairman and members of the Board of Directors of Indian Schools, Principal Indian School Al Maabela, distinguished guests, teachers, parents, children. Good evening, Assalamu alaikum, namaskar.
Extending a warm round of applause as we welcome Suborno.
Am I free to give the keynote address? Okay, thank you. So first of all, I'm not feeling too good, so I have to make this one quick. And second of all, I was going to go off a certain script, but one, you know how I operate, no scripts over here. I was going to go off a general idea, but I decided to throw that out into the trash too, because I was so inspired by the speeches of the honorable guest, Her Highness, His Excellency, the Vice-chancellor, and I am so excited to be here as well. Unfortunately, this day marks my last event in Oman, so I am so honored, and I was so honored to be meeting all of you from all 21 schools, and I hope to see you all again someday, sometime in the future. Now, I found especially the speeches of Her Highness and His Excellency very interesting. The speeches about being human first over being a scientist, because especially I actually wrote a book about that one. And also, there has been so much scientific learning going on nowadays, and you all will soon be part of that scientific revolution. Now, yesterday I did make an address about why we need science and the causes of people being scientifically ignorant. But now, since I have no other ideas left in the box, I'm going to give you a direct reason as to why we need math and science, an imminent one that is going to happen sooner or later. Because not only is our need for growth and technology really increasing as our population increases and our scientific development increases, but also my dad is very afraid of this one, so that's why I decided to give a speech on this, asteroid impacts. 66 million years ago, the dinosaurs, the biggest and strongest animals who were previously alive on Earth, went extinct after 165 million years due to that asteroid impact. We've barely been around here for 2 million years. That is a very small fraction of the time dinosaurs have been. We will barely leave a mark if an asteroid strikes us right now. No one will ever know that we existed here. There were so many great things going on. If suddenly an asteroid the size of Mount Everest hit us like it did the dinosaurs, we won't even have that many fossils to leave behind for frog people to dig up in the year 3 million. So, what can we do to stop this? What can we do to prevent ourselves becoming the next dinosaurs? What can we do other than pray for a miracle? There are so many different ways of approaching this problem, but all of them require math and science. All of them require creativity and knowledge. Because although there have been some of these ways addressed, none of them work. None of them work very well anyways. And the ones that do work, or will theoretically work at least, will take 200 to 300 years to develop. And there are so many, well, not so many, but at least a few dozen huge asteroids, at least the size of the ones that have that killed the dinosaurs, if not more, that are lurking around that we haven't fully detected yet. So, what can we do to stop this? We need people like you to advance the rate of scientific development. Scientific development has been accelerating exponentially. But as of now, it has started to come to a stop, I feel. And you have to be part of the scientific revolution, the generations of tomorrow that will change science completely. Because I think I said this in my previous speech, but of today are the middle-aged men of tomorrow. The middle-aged men of today don't even think that science exists. So we really need the middle-aged people of tomorrow to understand what science is and how science will benefit us for the millions or billions potentially of years to come. So, I would also like to address that especially sometimes being human comes first, as Her Highness mentioned a few minutes ago. Sometimes we need to have empathy over each other, ethics for each other. Well, that's why there are ethics committees, even though none of them right now are particularly very useful. So, I believe that sometimes we have to disregard our scientific life for our family, our friends, and the people around us. Sometimes we have to leave it. Sometimes we have to leave it to others so we ourselves can take a break. Because the people who haven't taken a break, the people who have disregarded everyone they love for science, have gone mad. For example, take Ludwig Boltzmann. He focused his entire life on the branch of physics he invented, statistical mechanics. So much so that he went insane and offed himself. And then a student followed in his footsteps. So, I think that we all should be human so we don't end up like Boltzmann. We don't end up going insane. We should all retain that speck of humanity. We shouldn't dive deep into just doing math and physics over and over again instead of acknowledging our friends and family. And especially what His Excellency Ambassador Shri Amit Narang said, discovery is happening everywhere nowadays. And in fact, I did discover something while he was giving his speech. I was a little bored, so I poured a drop of water or two from my water bottle onto the paper, and I saw some ink started leaking around. And I thought, this is interesting. And in fact, a few days ago, before I went here, I was actually preparing to talk about the science behind Chandrayaan-3, although I was a little far behind at the time. And we were working on deriving centripetal acceleration and deriving the rate at which rockets gain velocity, assuming that they lose mass at a constant rate. And my brother, actually, something suddenly clicked for him. And he lectured me about it, and I didn't understand it a single bit. And I was like, what is this? Please get me out of your room right now. You've been holding me here for 2 days. And I thought, what is this? But he was very adamant about this discovery. And in fact, he ended up being able to contact a professor. And he is currently reaching out to several people who have offered to collaborate with him on this discovery. So, although we don't seek it out that much, there are moments of discovery waiting to happen everywhere in everyday life. And if we make enough of those everyday discoveries, Sometimes, someday, we will have that sort of insurance policy for asteroids. Sometimes, someday, we will have technology much better than the ones we're currently using. Sometimes, someday, smartboard will become as cheap as a piece of paper. There will be expensive technologies everywhere, and our life will be completely revolutionized. But that can only happen if you all seek out those life-changing moments and those life-changing discoveries. Thank you.
Dear audience, let's put our hands together.